Welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. This is Panda here. As you're all well aware, I believe we are up to that part. Shall we continue? Let me just calm myself. I believe I'm getting a little too excited. I'm like a little fucking schoolgirl freaking out over like Justin Bieber or some shit. Okay, alright, let's do this, shall we? Okay. Now that she mentions it, this futon would be a bit too narrow to do much on. Considering the thoughts running through both our minds, it's no small wonder one of us has any measure of foresight left. I take her hands and guide her sideways as I move. Oh, I'm sorry. Snap out of it, Andrew. Fuck. The brief and awkward dance ending with both of us tentatively sitting on the floor opposite each other. As I reach forward to pull her top up, she stops after she moves her hands to do the same. You're shaking. I pause for a moment and look at my hands. Sure enough, they're quivering slightly. Whether it's from nervousness or excitement, I'm not sure. I think it's from both. I guess I am. So you're as nervous as I am then? I withdraw my hands and sigh, steadying myself. We have plenty of time, so there's no need to rush this. Even though Hanako's in the next room, right beside you. You better be quiet. You better not wake Hanako up. It would freak the shit out of her. Sorry, it's my first time, so I'm a bit... She giggles shakily, all but confirming what I reasonably deduced by now. It's the same for me. I'm happy we could share this together. I match her smile twofold, leaning forward and taking her body in my arms as she reaches to hug me back. I love you, Lilly. You already said that. I can't help grinning. Even in such a situation, she still has her wits about her. Breaking our embrace, we decide to take off our own clothing. While it's easier this way, I don't doubt it's just an attempt to distract ourselves from our nerves. With slightly stiff hands, I begin to slide the first button out from my shirt. Once we remove the last of our clothes, which end up haphazardly piled behind us, my breath is taken by the sight in front of me. Oh, here we go. Alright, have to prepare myself for this. Whoa! Oh shit. Her long, shapely legs, full hips and her breasts plump but dainty. Her slightly blushing face, delicate and reserved, is framed by the bangs of her hair. I've gone from a mature 20-year-old to a fucking 12-year-old. Her hands, tightly held behind her, only serve to further accentuate her chest. Her tall and pale body is beautiful when bared. The girl in front of me, reserved yet playful, astute yet hospitable, is the girl I've fallen in love with. I lean forward, delicately taking her shoulders in my hands. As I do, she brings her hands to my chest. With a slightly uneven breath, we lean into a deep kiss. I feel one of Lily's hands slowly slide up to my shoulder, it and her head very gently moving forwards. Assuming her intent, I lean back onto the floor. Whoa. She lowers herself beside me, one hand stroking my hair as the other moves across my chest. The feeling of her breast against it is enough to excite me. Oh, it sucks for you guys because all you get to see is a black screen and me laughing and giggling like a little fucking schoolgirl. This must be her way of taking in what I've already seen of her. Despite her lack of sight, she engraves every detail of my bare body and chest into her mind. When her middle finger falls into the slight recess of my chest scarring, a lingering effect in my operation so many months ago, she slowly runs her hand down its length. This is the scar from my surgery. They had to do this in order to operate on my heart. For a moment she's lost in words. The idea of such extensive scarring adding a new worry for her. Her expression changes from curiosity to apprehension. I need to finish my drink. Okay. Good. Should we really be doing this kind of thing? Those words bother me beyond what is rational. Lily's face breaks my heart more than ever her words possibly could. Yet I don't even know the answer to her question. I can't let this condition dominate me forever. It may not be medically advisable, but I outright refuse to live my life in such a prison. It's okay, Lily. This much will be okay. Her troubled expression holds for a moment longer, but she eventually acquiesces, her hand moving to my lower chest and then my thigh. With a look of slight surprise, she slowly moves her hand downwards. Whoa! Her breath catching as she brushes the side of my lower hair. She tentatively moves her hand sideways, delicately touching the most honest part of my body. This is... yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Our nervousness peaks as the act begins. Her hand gently patting up and down as lightly as if I would break if breathed upon. I'm not sure whether it's just to steady myself or because I want to steady her, but I take my free hand and hold the side of her face in it. The feeling of her hair and soft skin is nice, and it seems to lighten her mood a bit. The mere fact that I'm being touched by her is surprisingly erotic. I feel my body relaxing as I submit to the pleasure overwhelming me. Long minutes pass in almost total silence. Total silence. Our heavy breathing the only sound to be heard in the house. Lily's fingers stop affectionately stroking my hair and she opens her lips once again. Hisao. I wait a second for the rest of the sentence, but none is forthcoming. She may be trying to take the lead, but she's still incredibly nervous. I can't help smiling as I stroke her hair from her face a couple of times, reassuring her. As nervous as she may be, I'm thankful that Lily's taking the lead. I'd probably be just as anxious as if I were attending to her. As if you were attending to her? That's the way you're gonna put it. As if you were attending to her. Oh, I don't even know. Okay. She pauses a moment before giving a small nod, sitting up and shifting her legs over mine. Once again, my breath is stolen by the magnificent side of her body over mine. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Wow. I can only look on frozen as she delicately lowers herself, resting her reddened lips over me. She slowly begins to move her hips downwards, her softness enveloping my consciousness. She takes a deep breath to collect herself, her face remaining steady. With her hands taking in my body in lieu of sight, the intimate situation muddles her usual efforts to compensate for lack of eye contact. She gradually lowers herself onto me, her knees and hands supporting her as she does. Her entire body tenses as I enter, her expression obviously one of stifled pain. Despite that, I can't help savouring the soft warm feeling enveloping my consciousness, the surge of pleasure overcoming all my senses. The last vestiges of it all but disappear inside her, while her nails slightly scrape into my chest in an effort to stop herself from yelping in pain. A pain moan too much for her to suppress completely escapes from her lips. As I open my mouth to comfort her, I see the barely visible red drops from beneath her... oh wow, oh, from between her legs. Lily, if it's too much... She clenches her mouth tightly, quickly and forcefully shaking her head from side to side in defiance. After a couple of seconds she relaxes her body slightly, though she's still obviously far from being comfortable. Just breaking the floodgates. It's okay, I'm okay. She swallows hard, trying to collect herself. Lifting herself slowly and bringing herself back down, she relaxes a little more as the feeling of pleasure begins to overtake those of pain. Her breathing starts to match the same ragged patterns as mine, her body moving almost teasingly slowly. She looks as if she's slowly beginning to enjoy the act, my feelings finally reaching her. I'm not sure if she's keeping herself at this speed for her sake or for mine, but either way, with a slow and steady pace, I think I can keep my body in check. It's funny, in a way, that even now I'm depending on her. For us to be joined together like this, our feelings so close, it makes me glad to be sharing our first moment together like this, is an almost overwhelming feeling. I love you, Lily. Hisao! Oh... I can feel her body tensing, her breathing and movements becoming steadily less carefully controlled. I'm happy to be making her feel so good, but as my thoughts become increasingly focused, I can feel myself rapidly nearing my limit. Oh, here we go. Oh! Control of my body is instantaneously wrestled from my mind as I grip my teeth hard, a loud moan escaping as I climax and my hips hit hers. Her body hunches over at the same moment, her breast touching on my chest. We stay locked in all-encompassing ecstasy for a brief moment, my mind completely taken by the feeling for a precious few seconds. It all ends too soon and our bodies collapse in exhaustion, with Lily barely staying on top of me. I lifelessly manage to wrap my arms around her limp, sweating body, and for minutes we simply lay there, silently savouring the contact with each other, while we recover from the experience. Neither of us had thought ourselves prepared for such a thing, of that much I'm certain. Entirely drained for the past the point of conversation, I look at her tired face. It looks as if the exertion, both physical and mental, has almost forced her to the verge of collapse. I love you, Lily. How many times do you want to say that, Estelle? Seriously. She nods weakly, rubbing her hair with her left hand. If we could simply remain together like this for eternity, it would be a paradise like no other. Well, yeah. Well, this is awkward. After being woken by a sound, I opened my eyes with a measure of reluctance. Turning my head to the left, I find the rain outside sweeps against the windows loudly, spray after wind-blown spray lashes against the glass as if trying its hardest to make up for the summer's previous heat. I sit up in the futon, holding the back of my neck and try to subdue the pain from my awkward sleeping position. By all accounts, I should be lamenting the turn in the weather. Given that this is our last day here, the events of yesterday refuse to stop flooding my mind though. The feeling of holding Lily's crying body in my arms, the rush of lust and hormones that flowed through us as we spent the night together, it seems almost futile to try and rationalize everything that happened. In an attempt to distract myself, I groan and leave over to retrieve my bag without standing. Pulling out one bottle after another, I take the daily regimen's worth of pills from their containers and swallow them without further ado. Oh, I'm going to save it there because that was exhausting talking, well, not just talking in general, but, you know, talking of that nature, if you catch my drift. Slightly scarred my memory, but, you know, it was good for me because I got to view it all. But now I'm sounding a little disgusting. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time.